The gentleman who's about to walk out in a moment is an American hero. Well, excluding Boston, anyway. Please welcome from the world champion New York Mets pitcher Ron Darling. That really says it, right?
Not bad.
Not bad. What happened? You know, when the team went to the White House. Now, he has a chance to go to the White House. Where were you? You didn't go.
I know. Everyone from my mom to everyone else was asking why I didn't go. And for me, I think winning the World Series was great. But for me, enough's enough. I'll be doing these things till January. I mean, spring training will be around the corner. I just thought baseball's done with. It's time to, it's a chance for me to spend some time with my wife, go home, spend some time with my family, and get away from baseball. So that's what I did.
Did you call Ron?
Yeah. I think today they were announcing, I was lucky because Darryl Strawberry and Keith Hernandez were supposed to go also, but they overslept, so it really covered me.
Oh, yeah. You know, there's something I'm so curious about. Yeah, it's a baseball question I've had since I'm a kid. When all you guys get together after a game, do you really say, well, what kind of razor are you using? Let me see that. Does that happen?
No.
Well, here, try this. Whoa. Doesn't happen?
It doesn't happen, except the only one is probably Gary, because he does do a soap commercial, so he does make sure that we get that kind of soap in there.
Oh, he goes around pushing, pushing the stuff. Well, what happens? I mean, what behind the scenes, like in the locker room? That's, other than when you win, of course, we all see champagne, but what happens? The guys come in the locker. I mean, what do you guys do?
I'll tell you, our team is the great consumers. Our team can eat more food than any team I've ever seen. Probably the Kings, and they'll get on me because everyone says I should be included in this group, and I probably should be. But the Kings are Dwight and Roger, and the new guy this year who really made an impact on us was Tim Tuffle. We always tell Timmy, you can eat. And now we got the new one about him. We say, Timmy, you can eat, only if it's free. So what happens after a game, we always have a spread, and they have large amounts of lobster or chicken or steak, and Tim Tuffle's been known to go back 3 or 4 times.
And you're a heavy eater.
Yeah, I'm included in that.
Because we had dinner and I had an eye on you, you know what I mean? At the table, you were chowing down.
I ate almost.
You ate a big bowl. You were chowing down.
We went, they had that big cheese cut out, and it had just all that pasta in it. And I think I ended up eating almost one.
You went to cheese. You got to the pasta. You went to cheese, so you can do it.
Yeah,
you can chow down.
Luckily, ever since I've gotten married, my wife's got me away from the fast food. But I used to love, when I was single, that's all I ate. McDonald's, anything I could eat.
Yeah. Then now you're eating regular. But are you a baseball fan? I mean, do you sit around and read everything about baseball? Besides playing it, are you like, wow, baseball?
I think I've transformed a little bit. In the beginning, when I first started playing baseball, no, not at all. I would read about it during the season just to find out about guys who played and hopefully try to get a gauge on how to pitch them or things like that, or who was hot and who's not. But now I find myself, because I've been in it so long that I know so many people in the game, I read everything. And especially lately, I start reading even the little columns they say who gets released, because the people who get dropped by teams, because sometimes it's friends. So
you keep up with that. Well, you do a lot of, before you go out to do a game, do you do any pre-planning? Like, you're going to play a team. Do you spend any time, any kind of research doing anything to get ready for the pitch?
What I'll do, the night before, I'll try to go over all the hitters in my head about 10 or 12 times and know how I can pitch them. But like when we were playing the Red Sox in the World Series, it became a big problem because I had never faced them before, and I really knew nothing about them. So that night, I did bring home some cards and went over. We have scouting reports, guys who go on the road and watch the Red Sox, and so I had all these scouting reports and went over each hitter and tried to, cram for an exam.
And so there are things you know, like you know that this one, he's weak in a certain spot, or this one's strong, or how to throw a certain...
Yeah, like you'll find out, say if a Jim Rice is up there, you know he's can really hurt you. He hits the ball a long way, but the scouting reports say he's vulnerable inside, so you can throw hard stuff inside. But, I mean, you still got to throw it inside. If you make a mistake a little bit away, hits it over the green monster and forget about it. But, you know, you try to go at the guy's weaknesses, but at the same time, you can't throw a guy a curveball. He might not be a good curveball hitter, but if you don't have a good curveball, it's ridiculous to throw him a curveball. So you got to use your strengths, but try to pitch to their weaknesses.
Well, how would you pitch to me? Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. I would perplex you, I know.
Okay.
You'd have a tough time. We'll be back with more with Ron Darling right after this.
Nightlife will be right back with Ron Darling.
Nissan dealers are the #1 import dealers, and the first with a totally new...
One of the things we were just talking about a commercial break about vacation and everything. What are you doing? You know, in the off season, you always think, well, let's fish. You know, and here we went and caught up with so-and-so, and off season you see them fishing. Are you out there on the rowboat fishing, or is that just a cliche? You always see baseball players. Yeah.
A lot of the guys do fish and hunt. It's funny, whenever they say, you know, your 3 favorite things, it always seems to be ball players is fish, hunt, and play golf, you know?
Yeah, right.
But this winter, I'm going to be pretty busy. In fact, I've been probably more busy than I was during the season, in the sense that I'm starting to open up a restaurant, and I'm writing a book about the season, and, you know, I'm not having a ghostwriter, I'm writing it myself, so it's been pretty difficult so far, but it's been fun. It's good to try to use my brain instead of brawn for a while.
Well, you got to use your brain when you're pitching, the way you psych things out, and all. Actually, you're taxing something in there. Yeah,
it is, but, you know, it's such a physical act. I mean, you do have to use your brain, but I mean, as far as getting away from using your brain for baseball.
Yeah, the end, like, well, when you look back, and I guess this will be in your book, and you look back on that World Series, do you reflect, do you look back at it and think about it, like what happened and what it meant? I mean, it's past, there's been a little time. You're away from that great moment.
Yeah, it was strange because when you're caught up in it and with all the press and for me playing in Boston where all my family is and friends, it really was tough for me to just sit back and say, wow, you know, here I am in the World Series. I'm going to be pitching and all that stuff. But the one great piece of advice I got right before the series was from a good friend of mine, Art Shamsky, who played on the '69 Mets team. And he called me the morning of the game I was going to pitch, the first game of the World Series, and he said to me, you know, most people have been calling me and say, hey, have a great game, you know, or, you know, I'm betting a lot of money on you, have a good game, or... But Art said to me, he said, one thing I want you to remember is just make sure you enjoy yourself, because it might not ever happen again. And that was the best advice I got.
Wow, that's terrific. When you play a game, and maybe someone makes an error, and maybe it costs you the game, or maybe you don't pitch the way you want to, do you ever relive that and go over that moment?
Yeah, I do, because, you know, in the first game, I lost the game on, unfortunately, a ball went between Timmy Tuffle, our second baseman's legs. And, of course, no one felt any worse than him. But, you know, I was thinking to myself all through the World Series, that was the best game I pitched. And it was probably one of my better games I pitched all year. And, you know, I had a lot of strikeouts and all that kind of stuff. But I rehashed that one because it would have been nice, even though I got the World Series win in the fourth game, it would have really been nice to win that first game, to open it up for the World Series. And in that sense, it's been sort of a nightmare. Sometimes I stay up at night and just think about it because I really would have liked to have that back.
But when someone else makes an error, and it's not you, you know, you walk off and it seems like, the strange to me is like two guys in boxing. They kill each other 15 rounds, then they hug when, I mean, it just seems ludicrous, you know. You know, you just want to go, yeah, sure, you know, one of those. Do you ever, like, how do you keep the anger? I mean, like, you know, the guy just blew the inning, or he might have blown the game for you, and you're really pitching good. How do you psych it through? What do you put through?
I think the thing all pitchers try to remember, and it's real tough. Sometimes you feel like, you know, airing him out and telling him how bad he was, but most of the time I think you have to try to remember is that there's going to be times when you make a bad pitch and the guy's going to hit a 100-mile-an-hour ground ball to his left and he's going to dive for it, make a play, and save you. So a lot of times you tend to forget those plays, and all you remember is the bad plays he makes for you. But what a lot of people don't remember, in that game, Tim made 2 really good plays for me that kept them from scoring some runs. So even though he let in the run, it wasn't entirely his fault because we didn't score any runs. So when you don't score runs, you're not going to win anyway.
You can't win anyway,
yeah.
right. What do you think when you're up there and on the mound, you know, and it's like it's hero time. Pitcher he's the hero of the team. Everyone's watching the pitcher, right? And you're up there on the mound. What do you think about? You got all these people, thousands, 50, 60,000 people, and you're up there, and what's going through your head?
All I think about is 100% on the batter. I don't even feel the crowd. I don't hear it or any of that. And you really don't know of anything that's going around you. I don't feel like I'm the center of attention. I guess I am, but I don't feel that way. All I know is that if I don't make a good pitch to this guy, he might hit one and take my block off. You know, so that's all I'm thinking about is just
that one-on-one.
One-on-one. You know, man against man. And you know, if I make my pitches, I'll get him out, and if I don't, he's going to get a hit. So that's all. I try to break down the game into just batter to batter. I don't look ahead like to the 4th inning. Yeah, he's coming up. I just, you know, the guy at hand you have to take care of. Yeah.
That's great. All right, we're going to come back right after this. Right. That concentration, right? That focus on. Apologizing to Steve Middleman because we just got into baseball and we didn't get to him, but he's going to be back with this very funny guy. He'll be back real soon on the show. And I got a very important question to ask you. I know it's important because the fans want to hear it. What is going to happen to the Mets in 1987?
Well, I know that what happens, I think, with a lot of baseball teams is they try to, after they win the series, it's hard to stand pat. They want to make themselves better, and they forget about the chemistry sometimes. And I'm just frank, Cash, and hope you keep the team as about the same that it is now. And we got great players, and there's no reason why we can't repeat. Whether we win 116 or 120 games or whatever, who knows? But there's no reason why we can't.
Well, if you win, I'm going to parachute into the stadium. Something new. All right, good night, everyone.